change comes in the atmospheric and other things. So easily we can identify through the GIS and remote sensing. Any satellite image will going to give the variations 10 years before and today what happening. All the details you can study without any disturbance, without any problems. And accuracy you can get it. Accuracy you can get it. So here, it is possible, let me show you. Video is not working. Okay, video is not working. So first we will go to that remote sensing. Through the satellite image, I think we will take the imageries. The different people going to use that imagery in different purpose. In urban area, there is several department, MUDA and tourism department, corporation is there, and electricity department is there. So many department using that GIS and remote sensing techniques. So in electricity, I think each and every electric pole, they are mentioned that GPS location. If anything's happened, I think easily people are going to reach and repair themselves. So in police department also, anything's happened, I think easily they can reach if they will going to, I think, fix the phone number, all the phone numbers in the department. In that sense, I think different people can use the remote sensing in different usages. So remote sensing means, so without touching the objectives, we can collect all the informations. Through the satellite, we can get it all the informations and use it for that different purpose. So where we will going to get it all the information means aerial camera, multispectral satellite, radar, and hyperspectral, I think, scanner. And you can use it your local village map also. You can take the local village map and fix the latitude, longitude, and you can refer and you can make the map on the basis of your requirement. So here remote sensing is using for the, I think, all the sectors. Here I think urbanization and transportation, using the update the roadmap. So we have to extend the road means how many area will going to, we have to take from the public per square feet, how much money we have to give. So all the total we can easily predict. So and we will new construction, any kind of new construction comes, I think. So we will assess that how much we have to give for the public and what are the users, where the bridge will come, where the curves will come, where the accidental spot we have to avoid, all the details. And the wetland declarations, agriculture crops, crop health analysis. So where I think we are not bothered about the pest attack. So if you are not going to control in 1 month, within a month, that will spread more than 50%. So here I think crop analysis will going to give. If you are not going to control this pest, so you are losing more than 50% of the yield. All the detail it will give. The same thing, yield estimation also, and precision agriculture, new techniques it will going to give you. And not only for that, ocean study. So in ocean temperature, ocean salinity, so ocean fish population and erosion, climatic variations. So ocean is very important for us. So more than 70% of the oxygen from the ocean, and rainfall also. Everything is through the ocean means we have to study that ocean. This ocean study also through the GIS and remote sensing we are studying. And natural resource management, any kind of habitat analysis, environmental assessments, pest and disease outbreak and control, So lake monitoring. Nowadays, I think all the lakes is filled with that silt. So satellite will going to give you that how much silt is filled, where we have to, I think, remove all the silt, all the details. Otherwise, lake, I think, disappearing. So many lakes happened the same thing. They don't have a capacity to hold the water inside. Hydrology, land use, and geomorphology, geology, everything is built studies. Not only for that, disaster management. So many types of disaster it will going to manage before disaster. So any landslide means it will give you that. So on the basis of soil, vegetation, rainfall, and slope, everything it will assess. So if you are not going to control properly, it will going to big disaster in the future. It will give you all the details. In the satellite image, I think you can easily assess. You can see here, I think there is a Ram Setu earlier. If you are going to study these things, easily you can identify there. So what are the things in before and today and tomorrow, what happening? All the detail you can get it. So here, KRS Dam, Mysore, KRS Dam and Mysore. If KRS Dam, anything's happened, break, I think, which are the area get it problem? So on the basis of elevation, contour elevation, easily we can predict, easily we can identify that Mysore is safe, Srirangapatna is under the problem. This kind of study also easily we can do it. First, we will go to that forest area. Always we have to give the priority for the forest. If you are going to register all the trees in the forest, so girth, width, height, age, everything, species, everything. So totally in our forest, this kind of species, this kind of trees, how much is there? And mature trees, everything it will give you. If anything's in the night, I think any sandalwood, that wood, this wood is a problem. Tomorrow morning, you can open the system. It will show you these many trees are missing in the last night. Gone, search. All the details it will give you for the forest study. Not only for that, any forest fire attack, the satellite will give you the information for the forest department very quickly, within fraction of second. Forest people has to take the action for that. I don't know, nowadays our forest people not that much active. And you can see that last Bandipur and Nagarwale forest, really I'm unhappy with that. Anyhow, we will go to see that forest in India. So you can see that per capita forest area in India around 0.05 hectares against to the world average, 1.08 hectares. Compared to that other areas, you can see that. So Sweden, Russia, Australia, Brazil, and other things. It's a more than 3.2. So India, basically, I think historical region should be in the big forest. Nowadays, not even 1%. They say we have to improve that forest area in our this. So major application in the forest means navigations to plot the forest management is very important. Wall-to-wall forest cover mapping and forest type and classification we have to do. And here what happening, I think, any forest fire attacks, I think, how much forest burned, how many areas we lost in that last night means they are not giving proper, I think, hectares and other things. They were hiding because if you are going to give it, they will take the action against the forest people. In this regard, I think, easily satellite will going to give you, last night, this much area is burned, this much hectare got the fire and burned. All the details through the satellite, you can get it. Nowadays, all the forest people not using properly this technology. This technology is really helpful for that forest people. So around 50 years ago, how many percentage of forest in Karnataka? 40 years ago, 30 years today. How much is declining or increasing order? You can assess that increasing or decreasing order. And the species also. Everything we can assess through the satellite. And now I think forest classification. I think area you have to study. First, you have to take all the satellite images and mosaic all the satellite and make your study area properly. After your study area, you can classify that if it is thick forest and other forest areas or animal movement or erosion or groundwater is declining or recharging, all the details, I think, whatever you want, you can study after that, delineate all the areas and register your area and study. So here you can get it that thick forest, medium forest and the low forest. If you increasing the height in Himalayan region and other regions, the increasing the height, the forest coverage will going to decrease and the softness of the wood is increased. In the foothills, the hardwood, if it is in the higher elevation, softwood and the trees. So after 10,000 and add, I think, so you can't see the trees, herbs, shrubs, bushes will going to see and grasses. This kind of classification also you can study on the basis of your requirement. I'm giving the just example. Remaining example, I think you can use it for that your study. And next, forest fire. So some area always getting the forest fire. So bamboo area, eucalyptus area, and teak area, I think it will shed the leaves and suddenly it will catch the fire. So how to avoid? Every year there is a forest fire means you have to permanently, you have to create the road and you have to make the team for controlling this kind of areas. In India, and take for example in our Karnataka, the forest team, not yet to prepared, I think. Next month, there may be a forest fire in our area. Because of today onwards, the temperature is increasing order. We have to alert in that case. Nobody. So satellite giving the information, oh, there is a forest fire, then they will going to take the action against to that. So it will take hours together to reach there. So I saw that this kind of activity is going on in our place. So I don't know that in foreign. Now I think going on Los Angeles and other areas, there's a big forest fire. So in our area also, we have to control very quickly and we have to make our forest increase in order. Next, you can see that last Bandipur forest fire. So I'm very unhappy, but I'm showing these things. Nearby road, main road, there is a forest fire. You are not going to control nearby main road. What about in the inside of the forest? You can't reach sometimes. There is no permanent road inside. So in this situation, where they will going to control? See, in this picture shows that. So very near to that main gate, there's a big forest fire. They are not controlling. Simply they are watching. See that main road, this is on the main road. So this shows that we have to use that GS and remote sensing technology to control all the forest fire in our areas. After the forest fire, I'm unhappy with that. So there is a lot of permanent, I think, active forest fire areas. In that kind of active forest fire, every year, we have to make the permanent road and we have to control that forest fire in that areas. But they are not doing all the business, I don't know. So in Amazon forest also, there is a lot of forest fire. Purposefully, they are firing and clear that forest to raise the cattle to supply all the beef meat to Western countries. So this kind of commercially they will going to clear the forest. That's also not good. Government has to take the against to the action because this Amazon forest will going to supply around more than 20% of that oxygen for that area. So in that case, I think we have to control that forest fire in that Amazon area also. So here one video is there, but video is not working. We'll try. Let us see. Here it shows that any forest spark comes, I think, it will shows that how it will spreads, through the areas on the basis of, I think, species, rainfall, wind directions, soil characteristics, slope, everything we will assess and create this kind of modules, and it will give you that kind of information. Hey, this area got the forest fire, how it will spreads. You can open that modules, it will shows easily. You can take the action which area is suitable to control the forest fire, but here is not working. So now next we will go to the agriculture. So farm management, very important. So if you are going to crop, any kind of crop, it will shows that this year you can get it this much of tons crops. If it is any pest, I think it will shows that this much area got that pest attack. You are getting this much yield only, these things. All the pest attack and diseases, crop monitoring, yield estimations, soil analysis, everything through the GS we are doing. So here, any I think area got that salt. Salt means area means some people growing that 3 crops in a year, like a paddy and other things. In 1 year, they are growing 3 crops. So every year you are doing the same thing. The soil will going to get the leach sometimes, and it will get the salt content. So satellite, it will shows that white patches, maybe in Haryana, Punjab, and where that waterlogging area, it will shows. This kind of, we have to remove topsoil and refill that other soil, and you have to start the, I think, crop areas. And crop growth monitoring, soil structures, all the things, it will give you all the informations. Here, any suitability analysis. Suitability analysis. Nowadays, earlier, everybody is growing that how much, I think, food we need. That much only they are growing, I think, food crops. Next stage, they are converting to that paddy, sugarcane, and other commercial crops. Now, I think most of the people in some areas using that ginger. Ginger growing areas, soil will going to lose that all the nutrition things. So here, what happening? They are using the pesticides, lot of pesticides. That pesticides will going to get the poison for that plant and soil, and it will lose that all the soil quality, everything. So we have to avoid that areas. We are not doing. So here, what happening? Pest monitoring. First, I think month, just I think 10% pest attack. If you are not controlling, the next month it will spreads around 30%, and third month it will go to that more than 40%. So in this, I think, shows that first month, second month, and third month also, and yield estimation also it will give. So first month you are going to control it, this much yield you can get it. Next, I think you are not controlling, this much yield you are losing. All the details it will give. This is very important for that. This is the salt affected areas. So that white patches we have to remove in the river basin. So then only you can grow. Otherwise, difficult to grow all the agriculture crops. So next, I think here, so one area, you are taking one area, high, medium, low yield areas. So in your big area, 10 to 20 acre area, I think, you can't expect that uniform, I think, crop. Somewhere, I think, it will grow very well. Somewhere is not growing very well. Here, we are classified that high productive area, medium productive area, and low productive areas. So it shows that blue, dark blue is the high productive areas, and you can see light blue is the medium productive areas, and yellow is the low productive areas. Totally, it will give you that high, medium, low. Totally, it will give you how much tons you can get it in this crop. All the details you can get it. Maybe this is your land somewhere. So we can take the study for that, and it will shows that. It will shows high, medium, low, and it will give you this many tons you can get it details. Here also on the fruit crops, any kind of fruit crop, apple and other crops. So one vehicle will going to scan all the fruits. It's a ripe fruit or kacha fruits. Easily you can assess that these many fruits are ripe. You can pick it and send it to the market. So total this many tons, and on the basis of market price, this many rupees you can get it in this season. All the details it will give you in one scan. And one area you can study for that your research purpose. So some area got that yield problem, some area water problem, some area pest problem, some area any other problems. Each and every piece it will give you this area got this kind of problems. So easily it will easily we can solve each and every package. So here I think yield variation is there. Somewhere is water soil deficiency is there. Somewhere is irrigation problem is there. All the details you can study. And precision agriculture also we can use it. So you can use it the GPS techniques for all the both the side, and it will going to spread pesticides, manures, waters, sprinklers, everything we can do it through the precision of agriculture. See your field, agriculture field, you can't get it the uniform growth. Uniform growth. Somewhere is very good, somewhere is not grown very well. Totally, it will give you how much yield you can get it in this field. All the fields. And you can show the American population that we don't want. There's a lot of videos is there, but here is not working properly. So watershed management. So what in watershed management, where we have to use that vegetative checks and boulder checks, check dams and percolative tanks. So on the basis of elevation, contour elevation, just you can make it 1 or 2, I think a meter contour variation, create a map. It will show that this kind of map. You can use it that high elevation, we need vegetative checks. So if it is the lower end, I think we can use that check dams and boulder checks. And very low areas and other areas, we can use it that percolation wells. So that will going to recharge that groundwater always. That is very important. Russell method, we will use that soil quality analysis, all the things. So this kind of techniques, we can create the maps, and agriculture officers can give the suggestion for the publics and farmers to use these techniques, and which are the crop is suitable for the soil. And people also growing the same kind of crops, I think they will get the good yield. This kind of study is very important for the farmers. And GS also. GS is very important, Geographical Information System. Also using this kind of techniques. Here what happening? So you are taking one data, you are creating data, and if you wanted to update and delete, and you can make it divide the different part, everything is possible in GS. You can add it that extra information, it will update. And you can make it that new maps also sometimes. Base map is already is there, means you can play your on the basis of your requirement. Here GS also helpful for that agriculture area and archaeological areas, business, computer, environment, engineering, journalism, military science, natural resource management, all the departments using that GS technology. So Nowadays, I think without GIS technology, there is no any activities. So here we can create just a one map, I think. Different people can use it. In that case, I think several layers we can create it. Several layers. In city area, the corporation people always worried about how many story buildings. Last year, how many buildings? Today, new buildings, how much? How many story buildings? That's a mosaic building or other buildings. All the detail they will going to collect. Then they are using, they are already paid the tax or not. Everything they are using. Transportation people always worried about that transportation, accident areas and other things. And Muda area, always worried about where is that vacant land, where is that new extension we have to take. If any new extension, I think, if you mark and give it to that GS, it will give you that where the 100 by 100 site will come, where the rain will comes, where the school, hospital will come, all the details it will give you. You can select it on the basis of the different techniques. So GS techniques is nowadays, I think, using for different people. So really helpful for all the people. Yes, see here, street map, you can say, land use map, administrative boundary, hydrological map, and imagery. Through the imagery, you can study all the things. Different purpose we are using. In this study, you can see that everything comes under that. Everything's. Land management, natural resource management, pollution, energy, biodiversity, agriculture map, crime map. Crime map also we are doing. Defense, they are global warming, land use we are using, population study we are using, urbanization, education purpose. Yeah, all are using that GS techniques nowadays. You can study the groundwater potential also. Geology people and other people using the techniques. The population, thick population per square miles. How many thick population is there? Maybe that red area is the thick population. If it is that thick population, you have to give water supply always 24/7 and other all the facilities for that people. Because the thick population expect that all the drainage system should be, electricity, all the facilities we have to provide in that thick populated areas. So, and we have to, police people also watch that thick populated area, any crime will going to taking place. Here I think hotspot, heat mapping, heat hotspot mapping. Sometimes increasing the heat, making that a lot of disturbance for that agriculture purpose, industry purpose, all the purpose. So heat analysis we have to assess. On the basis of the heat, I think different part, we can make it a map and show it that in this season, the heat will be high, more than 40 degrees. So in winter, the chillness is more than -0, sometimes -5, -10. It's not in our place, maybe in other Western country areas, maybe Antarctica, Alaska areas, Siberia, Greenland, Iceland areas, and some part of Europe, you can get it minus in December, January, February, March. You can make the map minus and plus in all the deserts and Middle East countries and other areas. It's more than 40 degree, 40 to 50. So we can make the map, all the maps, and planning people. Without that GS, there is no planning nowadays. Everybody is studying that map. So through the creating the map only, they are going to study all the building structure, vegetation. So inside there is a vegetation on the basis of that road. Along the road, there is a vegetation. We should not disturb that vegetation. Sometimes people will going to disturb that vegetation. So that kind of map also we can create. What kind of map? Healthy trees and stress trees along the roadside. So this kind of map also we can create in future, which tree is, I think, get the problem. If you are going to increase the road, So we will going to cut all the trees, but we are not going to replant. That is the big problem. Civil engineering. We have to use that land use and land cover in urban planning. So without that land use and land cover, difficult to assess all the things. In a city area, I think anybody going to extend that area into that road, easily we can identify through the GS technology. And we can take the action against that. Here, we can see that the economic development, code enforcement, housing, renovation and other things, we can make it. Emergency response and crime analysis, tax assessment, everything through the GIS, we can do it. So urban planning application, so many applications, we can use it for that land use policy and other things. Now I think you can take Bangalore, growing different ways. I think which direction it's going, which direction it's going. So that's right direction or not, right direction or not. We have to study that kind of, see 1973, there's a greenery everywhere. In Bangalore city, there's a greenery. Nowadays, you can see that 2020, the greenery is upscanding. So only 2%. So here 68%, and 73, here only 2.92%. Means we need the greenery inside the Bangalore city. Otherwise, the temperature will going to increase. People will going to suffer, and health hazards also. Not only for that, health hazards. And they will going to get the stress and get it a lot of diseases. That is very important. Bangalore. So now I think earlier, so take Bangalore in 1901, and now the Bangalore city, how many wards? Increasing the wards in different areas. So that's supplying water for all the amenities. That is very important. Extension area increase means first the big problem is transportation. The second one is water. So this is a big problem we have to control. Otherwise, the Bangalore will become a stressed city, I think. Temperature, everything. So on the basis of our population, on the basis of the population, we have to study. On the basis of population, we have to study all these things. Otherwise, increasing the population, making a lot of disturbance inside the cities. So Mysore also, Mysore and Bangalore and the big cities or the slums, it will get the big slums. Through the slum only, we are getting a lot of problems. All the diseases will going to spread. All the crime activities will going to spread through that urban area, through the slums. We have to take the action to control the slum area in big cities. Otherwise, big problem in the futures. This is land use plannings, where that our land use, everywhere we can use the land use facilities. Here also we can see that walking place demand. So in Western countries, the most of the people, I think more than 50% of the people is, I think 50 plus. In that purpose, I think they need walking place, walking path. Always they are creating the walking path. In our area, there is no walking path. So there, I think they are demanding the walking path in that cities. Now, greenhouse gases emissions, greenhouse gas emission. So if we are not going to assess that greenhouse gas emission in the city areas, that's a big problem in the future. So here, I think you can easily identify that more than 30, you can see that red is the dangerous. Red is the dangerous. So green is the not danger. In between the moderate. So here, why that red is dangerous means they are using the house purpose or commercial purpose, industrial purpose or other purpose. Though we have to see if it is in the market area and vehicle movements and other purpose, I think that greenhouse gases area comes under the red. Remaining, these are all the residential area maybe. That's a market area and business area. So on the basis of that, we can divide into that city in stress or not. And the gas pipeline, where there's a gas pipeline, all the maps we can create. Anything's problem, I think easily we can attend. So it will give number 1, 2, 3. So not only for gas pipeline, all the pipe lines. So on the basis of dot density, easily we can predict any kind of problems, any kind of map we can create through the dot mapping. So on the basis of the thickness, on the basis of the dots, we can study all the areas. This one also challenging in the urban areas. Electricity now. See, easily we can predict that electricity, where there is electric, I think, service we are giving. So where they are already paid the electricity bill or not paid, all the details we can get it. And where they are not paid, I think we will cut the electricity. So nowadays, that's not possible. We have to give the electric, and finally we have to take. Nowadays, I think there's a lot of schemes there. We are not going to talking about that schemes and all. There is a electricity supply. Easily we can identify that. And now I think real estate business people also using that. Mortgage or sale or rent, everything you can assess on the basis of the mortgage, means in what range you need mortgage areas, or rented buildings also. If there is any building sale, means that's also one more thing is there. On the basis of that, you can get it that all the price, location, who is the owner, which direction the main door, on the how many rooms in that, which are that surrounded area, all the details it will give you. This is the mortgage. Elderly growing populations. So some areas got that elderly growing population in Bangalore, Mysore, and other areas. So easily we can identify, because we have to give the support and support for that police and other securities purpose. We have to give the support for them, because elderly, I think old age people will going to leave. So some criminals are going to identify that kind of houses. They wanted to rob in the night and evening and other things. They wanted to give the support from the public and police department and other departments. This kind of center place. Some areas in Bangalore, heavy load will not going to allow in the daytime because of that thick population movement. In that areas, we're going to take that all the goods in the night only. This area, I think, how many hours it will take, the I think reload, load, unload, and reload, and other things. How many hours it will take to come out from that big city. All the details it will give you. On the basis of this study, I think you can use it, the technology. That's the same place there. Here you can see that school and other areas. Here I think you can see that how many schools are there. On the basis of that, you can start your business, hotel business and other bookstalls. Everything you can use it for that. You can see that park in that areas, library in that areas, community centers in that areas, health centers in that area. Any accidents taking place, easily you can just click, it will show nearby this hospital. There is a specialist, ortho and neurologist and other, all the which are the doctor you need, you can assess. Easily you can go, and you can create that land use and land cover in different soil maps under the other maps, and you can control that slums and problems in the city areas. Which are the problem? Poverty, crime, stress will come, slum. Because of the stress means industry people always they are expecting the more work from your side. So this kind of stress, I think sometimes pollution create the stress in the industrial areas. So this kind of stress making heart problems, lungs problems, and other problems in our body, increasing the temperature in our body. So many kind of problems going to start. This kind of problems we have to avoid through the GIS and remote sensing studies, and you can use that remedies. So we need that cardiologist and the pulmonologist and other people in that area, and increase the facilities, medical facilities for them. All the details you can get it. So water supply and GIS. So you can use that sensor for each and every tap. So in our house, I think it will shows that in 24 hours how many water they drawn. Sensor will give you all the details. So 24 hours that water is flowing in that tap means there is a problem. Go and repair. All the details it will give you in spot, on the spot only. So this kind of studies always. The sewage water nowadays in Bangalore and big cities, rain drain is there. Rain drain earlier 20 feet width and 20 feet or 10 feet depth. Nowadays it's I think both the side they are encroached that area. Nowadays I think it is 5 feet, 10 feet you can get it. Remaining area is now occupied with the other people. In that sense, what happening? Heavy rain comes, the water will flow in the residential area. Residential area people will going to suffer. This we have to. You can already knows that Rajakalve in Bangalore. So I'm not talking about that Rajakalve. What are the things going on? You can use this technology and clear that area to flow the water properly. See that areas, that light blue area, I think that you can encroach that both the side, it will decrease. So the water will going to spill out. That is the big problem in the city area, Bangalore, suffering. So it's easy. GS people will going to fix that contour interval for 2 feet, 2 feet and click the map. It will shows that. These are all the waterlogging area in the rainy season. You have to update properly. So many areas, waterlogging area in the rainy season, we have to update. Stormwater problem. You can see that hydrant somewhere. Hydrant is there. Any fire comes, forest fire comes. Sorry, fire. Any house has got the fire and other thing. There is a hydrants. You can see the red hydrants. You can use it that water through the hydrants. See in our area, what happening? So under the I think bushes and the soils somewhere disappear. So easily everything through the GPS techniques. You can just a click nearby. Where is the hydrant? Easily the fireman can connect it the water, use it for that controlling the fire in the city area. So that's really helpful for that fire people also. This kind of public work, public network, road network, really helpful for that. So in between that river flowing, so how many area will going to high flood area, medium flood area, and low flood area inside the city. So we can create that map because often and often there is a flood in that river. Easily we can make the map and give the caution for that people to move here and there. Here is a funny things. One more. So mosquitoes and GS. Earlier, I think 20, 30 years ago, I think people will not bother about the mosquitoes. Mosquito bite also. Today, any mosquito bite, I think people will thinking twice which kind of mosquitoes, what kind of disease it will going to carry. This kind of study, I think, very important nowadays because the temperature every year increasing order. The climatic factor will going to give you that in the polar region. So you can take example in Antarctica, the around 4,000 meter iceberg lying like a anaconda. So nowadays, every year on the basis of contours, we will going to create a map, I think. Every year, there is a 7 feet declining. So again, it will increase. Again, it will create once again, but totally the decreasing order. The decreasing order shows the sea level is increasing. coastal area erosion will taking place. I think sea level increase means heavy rainfall somewhere, flood somewhere, humidity is very high, and all the rivers flooding, all the coastal erosion, all the coastal cities going to submerge. Around 10% of the coastal cities in the coastal areas. So the economic activities, world economic activities through that 10% cities. That's very important. See, just a thinning or declining the ice in the any Antarctica, Greenland, Iceland, and Alaska, Siberia, if it's increasing or decreasing, we're going to assess in different kind of actions. On the basis of that, mosquito will going to enter in the European countries. Earlier, there is no mosquitoes in the European countries. Nowadays, I think there is a mosquitoes in European countries. It shows where there is a temperature, the mosquito breed will going to increase. Earlier, there's a average temperature in European countries. There is no mosquitoes. Nowadays, mosquitoes also enter in the European country. It shows that temperature is increasing. On the basis of that, controlling factor for the mosquitoes in our area. It's not possible. It's not a big thing for the government, but I don't know why. Increasing order. So here also, we can use it that identify the transportation hazards. Transportation hazard means somewhere, I think, accidents. You know, in your area, Bangalore and Mysore and Hubli, Dharwad, any area you are coming from that. In your city, every day, there may be 5 to 10 deaths, but you don't know. So, map, you can open this, how many deaths in Bangalore city. Today means it will show how many accidents, how many injuries, all the details it will give you in the crime maps. So transportation department and crime. So there is a accident often and often. There is an accident in often and often. So we can predict that there is a problem. What are the problem? If it is a curve and other things, we will make that transportation free for that. If it is an accident often and often, there is a one signal we have to create. So this kind of actions we have to take to control that accident in that areas. And flood. Flood also on the base of low area, we will create 1 meter or 1 feet on the basis of that. We will create the map. The line will create every 1 meter. It will create the I think maps. So you can low flood areas, medium flood areas, high flood areas. It will show that easily, and we can control. There is a one modules, but in this mission difficult to show. Okay. Land use records. We can create the land use records. Just a click on that one house, it will show that when it's constructed, how many rooms, how many, I think, people living in that, and how many floors is there, and who is the owner. Each and every details, the tax paid or not, any problem in that house, all the detail it will shows. Just a click, you can get it that all the details for the house. Easily you can get it. See all the house, just you can click it, it will show all the details. Aadhaar, voter ID, economic ratio, ration card, survey number, and built up area, open space. All the detail you can get it. This kind of information you can't get it anywhere. You have to use it, this technology. Each and every urban people, urban, I think, MODA, corporation people, and other department people, they are not using. If they are not paid the tax, we have created that one is green, one is red. You can create and go on to collect it. They are not collecting properly. See this house. All the details of the house, you can get it. This kind of things, I think, people will going to use it for the real estate people. Really use for the real estate people. So location of that tax and other things. Easily you can, that's Mysore areas. Here you can see the things, stress trees and healthy trees. Stress means we are marking a red color, and green is healthy trees. This kind of tree, I think, environmentalist always, if you in the city area, you can't cut the trees easily. Though for the your business purpose, I think in the midnight, I think you are going to making lot of disturbance for that trees. You should not do it like that. Each and every tree giving that oxygen for the daytime, more oxygen in the daytime. So that's very important. Water demand. Water demand in the cities. Water demand. On the domestic water demand, for that domestic water demand in the cities. So everybody talking about the 24/7, we are giving the water supply. So we are facing in the very near to our KRS dam, just a 15 kilometer. So we can't get it the 24/7, not 24/7. We are not get it, and Kaveri river water in our house. They will mix Kaveri river and borewell water. Everywhere, I think there is a borewell. They will connect the Kaveri water and borewell water mixing. So this kind of activities they are doing. No, if it is making possibly, create the map, and how can be helpful for the people. They are not doing that. But there is a water bill will come. There's a water bill will come. So 50% borewell. Instead of that using this kind of borewell, individual borewell, they will going to use it for other purpose except the drinking purpose. So real estate people, you can cut that your area. Extra, I think what you wanted to do it for that site measurements and other thing. Your area may be 10 acres and 20 acres. Cut it from that Google map and make all the sites and give the number and put it back into the Google map. And throughout the world, people will going to see that which direction map, which size of the map they need. So along the road, or they wanted to outside very far from that road, they will going to select. And you can make a red means sold. Green means still there is a site for vacate. You can buy a site. People from that abroad also, they can buy the site in Bangalore or Mysore and any other cities. Easily you can make the business for the real estate people. That's also really good. Public safety, enforcement. You can see that often and often there is a crime. There is a crime. Make a crime map. So red color is always dangerous. High crime rate maps. So there I think we can give it all the force and control that all the things. Here crime analysis will give you high information. What kind of information we have to give means, so there may be a chain scratch. Somewhere I think they will going to loot all the shops and other things. Daytime they will going to enter somewhere. Nighttime they will going to enter. This kind of different types of crime is there. Different types of crime. We can assess that different types of crime and different kinds of maps we can create, and we can make the force for that. Law enforcement, we have to use it. On the basis of creating this kind of map, we can use it, that map. So on the basis of your study, you can use the maps. Crime hotspot map, crime map. Here also you can see that creating the maps, accident hotspot maps. Often and often there is a accident. There is an accident. You can see that all the rings, small rings, big rings, and you can see that big means there may be often and often there is a accident. You can see that accident and other things. So this kind of map really helpful for that police people, corporation people, public and other things. So many department people can use it, this accident analysis map for the study. In India and abroad, I think there is a lot of variation in the transportation. In India, all the transportation depending the GS. Aviation, 100% depending that GS and remote sensing. How many height is moving, how many distance is there, how many direction we have to move, wind, I think directions, all the details in aircraft they are using. And the ships also, they are using for the 100% GS techniques. In the road network nowadays, I think in city bus stand, you are waiting for that city bus stand. If you have that GS facility in that bus stop, you can click the bus number and asking, yes, this bus in the last stop, it will come within 5 minutes. Otherwise, no, this service is, today's service is banned because of the repairs. You are not getting this bus, you can catch other bus. All the detail you can get. For each and every new vehicle you are buying, nowadays I think with GPS it will comes. Nobody will going to rob your vehicle. And all the details it will give you, movement, directions, each and everything it will give you. This kind of facilities you can get it through the GAS, air and electricity management. Electricity already we discussed. And the coastal studies, somewhere I think coastal fishing zone, apiculture they are doing. So illegally some people doing, and they are giving the tax or not. All the details it will give. Health, you can go to study that health and GS. Health and GS is very important. So smallpox, earlier we are talking about the eradication of smallpox. Nowadays it came back. Somewhere I think it will, in another phase, it will showing that smallpox, we have to, once again, we have to give the vaccination for that smallpox. Olden days, I think it will sweep all the people in the village, and people will going to lose that eye, tongue, some problems will going to. Nowadays, we are control 99%, really, but so we have to take once again. Any kind of disease, we can make the map. So which area is malaria, very high in the malaria, we have to avoid to move in that areas. And we have to take the vaccination to control the malarias. So we can see that H1N1, H5N5 nowadays, very important to control. So otherwise, see in some areas, always one disease is very popular. Very popular. So we are talking about that corona. Earlier, corona is SARS earlier. SARS is the mother of corona. So in China, it's start from that. So earlier there's a name of SARS. Now we are, I think, mutated one more, I think, new varieties is corona. So this kind of things you can see that different kind of decision. You can see that different. Through the globe, we can see that dengue spread areas where the dengue. Here you can see that severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS. Earlier SARS, China is the, I think, main place for that SARS earlier. So one more mutated virus spread everywhere, that is corona. I think whole economy is disturbed. So easily we can see that how it will spread. First, where it starts, how many months it will spread throughout the world, how many years, what is the effect on that economy, and other study, we can do it through the GS and remote sensing in our area. Here, heart attack and GS. We can see that heart attack and GS. So in US, there is a eastern part is fully developed areas. All the states developed areas, industry, population, every is thick populated areas, business areas, thick cities, populated cities in these areas. And here, the heart attacks is very high. So heart attacks, we can assess that seasons, which season heart attacks will going to get in place. So more heart attacks. So there may be a season, November, December, January, February, March. So in other season also there may be a heart attacks. Means in other region we have to see what kind of reasons for that. Maybe high industrial pressure making the people getting the heart attacks. pressure, industrial commerce. On the basis of, we can give the suggestion for that areas. Not only for this, all the areas we have to take. So some business people also using these techniques. Business people. How the business people using this technique means, so now I think I'm a salesman. Any chocolate sales, I think. You are going to enter in one city, small city like Mysore. So where I wanted to start my business today. So at the time of evening, I wanted to complete all the shops. Means it will shows that these are all the shops you have to start. From these shops to this shop, you have to complete. Then only you can complete this one day. Otherwise, 2 days you can complete it. So first of all, you have to identify and locate that all the shops in your map. Then you can asking the software, it will give you all the suggestions. This kind of helpful for that traveling and business purpose, it will give you. And use the environmental studies where there is a air pollution in Bangalore city, high air pollution, which are the high air pollution areas, how to control that high air pollutions. Not only air pollution, sound pollution, air pollution, water pollution, all the pollution it will assess. And remedies, you have to take action against to that. So here, the water flows means it will give the buffer. So medium and high intensity of water will flow. All the details it will give you. On the basis of that, we can make that buffer area. Buffer area we can make it. So military people also can use it. That cancer people, lungs and bronchitis cancers and deaths. Nowadays, cancer is spreads everywhere. The most of the people dying without curing that cancer after the 4th stage. So we will assess where there is a patient. It's a 1st, 2nd stage, 3rd stage, and how many deaths in not only a cancer, any other problems also. We can assess. It's a percentage in this area got that high percentage means why the some area got the always lungs problem means maybe that area got any kind of I think weather variations, high weather variations to control controlling factor. What are the controlling factor for that? Easily we have to give the suggestion for the controlling factors in that areas. So pressure, wind pressure, directions, temperature, everything through the GS, we can create that. If it's a high rainfall, we can create that isolate lines. Pressure line we can create, temperature line we can create. So on the basis of that, easily we can do that all the surveys. Seismic zones. Seismic zones. So in our area, the earthquake is not that much. In other area, other cities, other countries, everywhere there may be a seismic. In Japan, every day there may be a vibration. In our place, no active volcanoes. Maybe 1 or 2 active volcanoes in India remaining, I think, not that much problem for Indians. In that case, I think we have to make the maps often and often, create that. Every day map we have to create sometimes in other areas, not in India's. Yeah, environmental impact in urban areas. Urban areas. What are the factors influencing for that urban area? Environment problems, all the environmental problems. Environmental problem, not only one problem. There is a lot of criteria to assess the environmental problems. So we have to make the map, different types of map to control the environmental problems. There is you have to create that big road, highway roads. So what are the area we have to occupy? How many area will occupy? How many, I think, villages will going to, how many temples, how many residentials, how many lakes, how many other area will going to. So all the study easily we can do it through the GS and remote sensing. So environmental impact areas. Disaster management. So you can see that disaster management. So there's a lowland areas, but there is a location. So we have to, people will not going from that areas. They wanted to already settle. In this situation, I think, too difficult to. So we have to make that, avoid this area means we have to make big channel to flow water properly. Where there is things, nobody will taking care for that. Everywhere, house, around 1 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet will go into lowland areas. If it is on the basis of the elevated areas, rainfall, and this area increase in the water, everything we can assess easily through the GIS and remote sensing. There is a 10 centimeter, 20 centimeter rainfall in the hilly areas. So continuous 24 hours rain in that hilly areas, there is a flood, our house will going to drop. So this kind of study always, but in India, very less. In other countries, there is a lot of problem. They are going to use it. Not only a disaster means not only a flood, lot of things. We can create that. We can create the layer by layer, all the problems, disaster problem. Tribal clashes, one map we can create. And neighborhood tension, we can create one map. Earthquake, one more map we can create. Volcano activities, one more create we can. And I'm not hearing that refugees map. So a lot of maps we can create like that, one by one. So the same map, landslide map, drought map. So there is a lot of layers we can create and study on the basis of your pre-disaster. Earlier, we can get the satellite image before disaster. Maybe coastal area, tsunami, on flood area disaster, or landslide disaster, and hot wave, cold wave, and other disaster. So many disaster before and after. Before and after. So how many area, I think, eroded and get the problem in the disasters. So we can easily identify the disasters. Here easily, see, this is the river course. In this river course, so low flooded area, medium flooded area, high flooded area, on the basis of contour, we can create it. Create it and give the caution for that neighbor people. So in the hilly area, there is a more than 10 centimeter rainfall. Here easily we can identify this much water will going to increase in the river basin. Easily we can predict it and give the measurement. See the cities, both the side, there's a big city. It's a high. If it is the high rainfall, it's a more than 20 centimeter rainfall means everywhere water. I think you can't control the water in that areas. It's a big city also, it's not bother about it. It will enter inside the cities. See that cities, all the cities, both this. In Kabini River Basin, we create that the map, I think. Here, if the flood comes, how much area will going to occupies. Here it shows that very thin, but the area is more than 10 kilometers. So this kind of maps we can create and shows that how much waterlogging area will going to taking place. See, Srisailam, Andhra. So increasing the water. Here also it will, there's a one module. So increasing the water in that area, it will spreads. There's a border, the line they are creating. So it will spreads on the basis of that elevation. This is a lowland area, will going to fill with that water in the flooding time. So finally, flood will going reduce slowly. It will shows all the details. This kind of modules are the create and give it to that people to vacate the place, go other area for that. And some area get the problem. Earlier, there's a, in Alaska, there's a glacier, now converting to the river. It shows there is a temperature increasing in the Alaska. Increase in the temperature in Alaska, all European country get that mosquito problem and other diseases. So you know that increase in the temperature, there may be a summer, there is a special diseases. In the winter, there is a special diseases. On the basis of the disease, we can use. So that problem, meteorological problem, input data, and we can get that. So here we can see that earthquake, how it will going to disturb. So millions of people died. I think we don't have that. See, earlier there is a tsunami wave going to move. So here we can every I think every hour how much it will going to move. All the detail you can get it. Every hour, the waves movement in an hour, all the detail you can get it and give it to that neighborhood places to vacate the coastal area. See here, easily you can identify that. For 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours. So it will take 15 hours to reach Australia. So this kind of 2006 happened. The big disaster. Tsunami in Japan always, before tsunami map we can create and how much washed out, all the details we can predict easily. So here also tsunami hits. See before tsunami, after tsunami. See once again, before tsunami, beautiful buildings, beautiful network, everything. So after tsunami, washed all the things. This kind of maps you can create, and what are the facilities we have to give in the post-tsunami support. See the Mumbai always just 2 or 3 meters higher than that coastal. If any rain comes, big rain means sometimes I think 24 hours, sometimes 50 centimeter rainfall, 60 centimeter rainfall. Sometimes this will going to create big problem in Mumbai, Chennai, and other areas. So how to avoid all the things? In railway station got that. They will stand, they will remove that water. Big problem. We don't have in that your area, but the people suffering. Really, there are people suffering because of this kind of. We can make the map through the landslide map, landslide and other disasters. So many disasters. We can create the map, pre and post disasters map, post disaster, and we have to give the support for the people. 6 months, 1 year. So there's no house, they are lost. All the house means we have to construct new houses for that people. If it's a washed, all the flood, if it's a I think landslide washed all the houses, means we have to reconstruct, or we have to construct the house in that other area for the people. So this is the very important. Nowadays is going on. Study areas, flood hazard map. One by one, we can create the maps and study. So really helpful for your study. River course also we can study. So how the flooded area will comes. Now in the river area also, people encroach that agriculture land, and river flooded area is narrow nowadays. That is also a big problem. The water will going to spill out for the agriculture area, and all the agriculture crop will going to get damaged. So nowadays, I think we have to take care for that river course, flooded areas. So earlier, normal I think river course is different. Flooded area we have to keep for the flooding. So in the flooded area itself, there is a school, hospitals, and other government buildings, because that flood time only that will going to occupy that water, that's why. So many people going to doing the same thing. That is not good. And we have to vacate from that place, that area only for that river flow. If any problem comes flood, I think it will use it for that. So we are not doing that. So in Bangalore city earlier, around 50 years ago, there's a 648 tanks. Now I think they are converting to that housing purpose around 240. Now remaining some is silt filled and some is missing lakes. So nobody is bothered about that. So this kind of activities happening means the water flow. So don't get any I think rain drain. So Rajakalave and other things, it will flows that residential areas. That is the big problem. Hurricane comes. So unemployment and voter ID. How many percentage of vote for the this what kind of in US or India? So Congress and BJP and other I think election people will going to get it the vote, that all the details you can get it, not only for that employment pollution map and other maps you can create it on the basis of reasons. So here also we can see that how many foreign board. I'm not going to talking. Here you can see the our departments. Our department of the every year there is a GS day. There is a celebrating the GS day. There is a lot of workshops going on and selections going on. So pool campus selection every year. And we are running that MSc GS, PG diploma in GS, PhD in GS, evening courses in GS. That will helpful for the government people, teachers, students, research scholars to do that project through the GS. Nowadays, it's very popular. Everybody is using. So arts faculty using, science, all the, I think, faculties using GS and remote sensing techniques. Now, all the government projects through the GS only nowadays. GS is very popular. We started this course in our university in 2008. Now it's a very running course popularly. And after completing, people will going to select the companies. So government organization, I think you can go to that I think urban areas, disaster management areas, electricity board, agriculture, tourism purpose, any area you can go. Otherwise also there is a GS companies. You can go to that GS companies. And you can fly directly abroad. We have a MOU with foreign universities and industries, local industries also. Whichever you want, you can select it. Every year there is a campus selection. On the basis of that campus selection, we are doing all the things. There's a GS. MOU with companies.